What's up, guys? My name is Steve and this is Tech Teardown. We're a brand new tech channel where we do tech reviews, PC building, and other types of tech and gaming content. If that's what you look for on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss one of our uploads. Now today in this video, I'm going to be building a $150 gaming computer for you out of this Dell Optiplex. This is the Dell Optiplex 990. I found it on eBay for a buy it now price of $40. And it comes with an i5 2400. It came with a single 4 gig stick of DDR3 and a 240 watt power supply, no hard drives, and the coolers on there. So we're going to upgrade the power supply, the graphics card, add a graphics card, and upgrade the RAM. And then I already put a 240 gigabyte SSD in there. It's a $20 SSD from Micro Center. And I already have Windows 10. I booted it up just to make sure it does actually boot, and it does. So now we're just going to go ahead and do the upgrades and see what kind of gaming performance we can get out of a $150 gaming computer. Let's quickly go over the components I went with for our upgrade. So for our graphics card, I went with the Radeon RX 560 4GB from Gigabyte. And I am absolutely obsessed with this graphics card just because of its size. It's such a unique shape and size on this graphics card. So I'm really just obsessed with it, and it's going to fit really nicely, real nice into this Dell Optiplex. But it's such a unique shape. So what do you think of this graphics card down in the comments? And then for the RAM, I upgraded to 8 gigabytes of RAM. This does support up to 16, but I'm just going to price to performance right now. This was $27 for the pair of two 4 gig sticks at 1333 megahertz. This Dell Optiplex only supports the 1333 megahertz speed. And then for this power supply, I found this on EVGA's Midweek Madness sale. This is a 600 watt power supply, and it is 80 plus bronze, and we are going to, and this was $25. So we're going to go ahead and throw that in this system. So let's go ahead and get started making these upgrades, and then I'll move over to the gaming performance and see what we got. Alright guys, as you can see, this is a great little performer for $150 if you're really trying to game on a budget. Obviously there were some real limitations brought on by this i5 2400 where it really struggled to keep up when we were playing games like Grand Theft Auto 5 and The Division 2. Grand Theft Auto 5, it had a really playable performance, so the built-in benchmark gave it an average of over 120 FPS. But when I was actually playing the game, I was seeing probably an average of 80 FPS driving around in the city and just causing mayhem throughout the city. It was still sticking to about 80 FPS, so the built-in benchmark didn't seem to be so comparable to the actual performance of in-game play, but still frame times were excellent. I was seeing like 5 to 8 millisecond frame times throughout my performance playing through that game. But the Division 2, it was still playable at that around the 50 FPS mark, but that was at medium settings, so I'd drop it down to low, and you'd probably see over 60 FPS. Now, so for $150, you got this Dell Optiplex, which came with the i5-2400. It came with a 4 gig stick of RAM, power supply, and it didn't come with any hard drives, but for $40, excellent value. The i5-2400 is it's a locked CPU, so you can't overclock it. And even if it was a K SKU, this is a proprietary motherboard and you wouldn't have been able to overclock it anyway. So the RX 560 was an excellent performer, and if you really want to see it perform without it being limited by such a old CPU, check out this guy right here. This is Chris from Coalition Gaming. You're watching his live stream right here, and he did a video about a week ago where he did the RX 560 in 2019 video, and he showed off how this graphics card really could compare. And it actually did really well in the Division 2, which shows that the i5-2400 really is our limiting factor in this computer. And also, it probably could have done better if I went with 16 gigs of RAM instead of 8 gigabytes of RAM. But yeah, I'll leave a link to Chris's video about the RX 560 in the description, also probably in the comments. So if you want to check out that's a great option if you're really trying to game on a budget. He got his RX 560 on the used market for $25. I got mine for $58. And he has some really good information about the RX 560 that you need to know before you were to consider buying this, because AMD got in some pretty hot water when they released this card, where they released 2 different SKUs, but hid something. Some of them had 16 compute units, some of them had like 14. So you want to make sure that you have the 16 CU version of the RX 560. I won't go in too depth on it because Chris did a better job explaining it. So check out his video if you want to learn more about that. All right, guys, so I think that's going to wrap up this video. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think of this performer? $150. I think it's a great value if you're just trying to get in and start gaming, PC gaming on a budget. So let me know down in the comments what you think of this option here. And if you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more from us, hit that subscribe button and the bell, and we'll see you guys in the next video.